don't change that channel or touch that dial, probably because you're not watching on TV, because this is Roll for Crit Kickstarter Pickstarter for July 9th, 2018. Our first pick comes from Dorado Games with their completely unrelated title, The Island of El Dorado. In this game, you'll be playing as explorers, trying to find these sacred sites, and if you control all 4, you win the game. Of course, you can't do that on your own. You're going to have to try to build up little cities, get some resources, or build up militaries to possibly protect the sites from other players. There are a lot of different adventurers, which is really cool with all unique abilities, which obviously like some are better at growing resources, some better at military, some better at running around. In addition, there's one site that's stronger than the rest, one ritual site, but it's in a cave where there's a lot of mysterious creatures and things that you have to get through first. This looked like a really fun, really beautiful art on the hexes, some interesting exploration game. A lot of the tiles, like unique one, looks like remind me a little bit of Battle for Souls with that classical art style on there. And this does have an expansion for this now, which includes some new, another new site, and including some crazy things that you'll find in the cave, including, like I saw one was a giant you have to fight, so good luck taking that down.
A giant what?
I guess humanoid?
I don't know what you'd say. Does it look like, this seems like kind of maybe a good compliment to that other El Dorado game that was the Spiel des Jahres nominee last year?
A little bit. This one feels a bit more Euro, because there's not as much deck building and stuff. It's more like area control a little bit.
Okay. Cool.
But it looked really pretty, and it's only $29, which is pretty nice for the base. So check it out if you want to find more gold.
Who doesn't want that? Yar, mateys! Next up, it's a game called Sea of Plunder. Hey, pirates are in this game, my friends. It comes from 3 Nail Games, and every player is going to have their own ship, and you're going around a little map trying to collect treasure, of course. The way it works is you're drawing cards, and the cards have a little diagram of how your ship can move. So, sort of like, you know, like a knight in chess or other chess pieces can only move in a certain diagram direction. That's how you go. You can't just go like one space however you want. You have to follow these cards. So you play one of those, and you can also play a card that will move one of your opponent's boats in a similar way. And some cards may even let you do other things, like steal from your opponents, move some of the islands around. So essentially what you're trying to do is move your ships on the board to get to those islands, collect enough treasure, get a certain amount of treasure, you win, you get all the points, etc. It looked like kind of a neat, light little pirate game. I'm not quite tired of pirates yet in my games. Your mileage may vary. But the map movement, I thought, was pretty unique. It has some good reviews out there as well if you check out the Kickstarter page. And, you know, like I said, pirates. And I'm certain that it's not related at all to Sea of Thieves. They didn't just look up synonym for thief and plug that into the title. I hope. I don't know. But if that sounds cool, you like them pirates, check out Sea of Plunder. It goes for $35.
Game over, man. Game over. Or maybe not. This next Kickstarter is actually for miniature games. It's called Biocraft from Jason Haidt. The price can vary, of course, in this kind of deal, because it's actually all about like sort of terrain pieces that if you can't really recognize, it sort of has that alien feeling, but not copyright alien.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm a big fan of the Alien movie, hence why I also used a different line in a previous week. And what's also cool about this, so if you actually want more of that space, or even, you don't even need it for space, you could probably do some weird like hive monster terrain in a miniatures game, you could use that. But it's also nice because there already are a bunch of alien miniatures out there. So you can just use these to help make that like a really beautiful sort of hive wall and area that actually uses alien predator or marines.
That's true. You could use it for the AVP game, I guess, or if you have a specific RPG or something.
Right.
Like that.
So I just thought this was a cool thing to point out for anyone who loves that needs that little extra sci-fi feeling in their miniatures game. Of course, price will vary depending on what you actually want or need.
And our last pick of the day is a role-playing game called John Silence from Ginger Goat Press. This is based on an old series of books by the author Algernon Blackwood, who I was not familiar with, but apparently he was sort of an influence on people like H.P. Lovecraft, even J.R.R. Tolkien, and a lot of other authors of sort of that time period, the early to mid-1900s. And the John Silence RPG is about psychics in sort of the 19th hundreds, but it specifically focuses on people of color. So it has a very kind of socially aware agenda to go along with it. You are playing people of color who are sort of these like paranormal, almost X-Files style investigators, and it kind of uses that as like a metaphor for, you know, how you're being seen in the world. So like I said, socially aware, kind of trying to get a message across, and specifically this is a non-violent RPG. So there is no combat involved. Every single encounter that you have, you're going to be trying to get past by talking to the people or somehow, or convincing them of something to persuade them not to fight you, or some other way. So it's an RPG about us talking to each other and nonviolence. And I always love these kinds of weird RPGs that try to really do something different with the genre. I actually looked at Ginger Goat Press's previous games, because they have some other RPGs they've done on Kickstarter, and they have some really weird out-of-the-box ones. Like there's one called Doll, where one player is a little kid and the other player is their doll, and like almost their imaginary friend.
Sounds awesome.
One is a dating show that takes place in the future when humans don't necessarily have human bodies. They could be a robot or a galaxy or something. Really weird stuff. But I thought this was cool. It's definitely something you don't always see. And I had never heard of this author or this series before, but the RPG also comes with like a bunch of short stories, I think new stuff, and like poems related to it. So cool stuff. Goes for $16 for the digital version and $30 if you want it physical. So check out John Silence. John Silence is what a lot of people say to me. Those were all of our Kickstarter picks this week. We didn't see a whole bunch of new ones. I think we're really now approaching that Gen Con period when people are saving their best stuff for later. But you should stay tuned, because tomorrow or the day after on our channel, we are going to have a preview for another Kickstarter game that we didn't mention today. So I'll just tell you, it's called Jetpack Joyride. It's probably up right now when you're watching this, or it will be very soon, so stay tuned.
Yeah, we've got plenty of fun videos, so don't worry. If one video can't do a lot of content, we've got plenty more to show you.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like we're desperately begging you to keep watching our channel at all. Hey, let us know if there's any Kickstarters you liked or backed this week. Until next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Will.
And this was Kickstarter Pickstarter on Roll for Crit. Oh no.
Don't forget to like and subscribe for more board game content. Every little bit helps.
Please, we gotta eat.